Hi, I'm Joe Silva, and I help entrepreneurs build their team, create systems, and the identity behind being that CEO for their business. I joined Laurie-Ann's program because I have always enjoyed speaking and felt comfortable doing it. The reason I joined the program is because it was a little intimidating to think of myself as a speaker. I had a lot of doubt and I had a lot of ideas in my mind and a lot of things to share, of course, as a lot of entrepreneurs do. I didn't know how to put that into a concise, tight fit for something like a speech. Knowing Laurie-Ann was an expert in the field and has for years and years and years of experience doing this, thought what better way to learn than to learn from the best. After going through Laurie-Ann's program, I have this structure that I can use really anytime I need it in order to give the speech. Number two is I have the confidence to approach organizations and say, hey, I can give a speech. It's coherent, it's concise, it's a consistent message, and the format is one that I know is solid because it's what Laurie-Ann teaches. So highly recommend to get your message out there. Recommend Laurie-Ann as your go-to. She's the expert. So use the expert, go to the best, learn from the best, and you'll be glad you did.
When you look at your monthly numbers, are you making just enough sales or is selling something that you wish would come so much easier to you? Well, this episode, we are diving into the most important part of any sale, you. I'll show you what I teach my clients about personas or roles that they step into to make more sales, leads, and get booked for more stages. Are you a coach, consultant, or service provider who's frustrated with the growth of your business? You're in the right place. I'm your host, Laurie-Ann Murabito, and you're listening to Be in Demand, where I talk about how to leverage speaking opportunities to grow your business, get positioned as the expert, and monetize your expertise. Let's get on to the show. Welcome to this series on selling from the stage, selling from social, selling on sales calls. And I have a very special gift for you that's at the end, so I want you to stick around for that. This episode, we are going to be focusing on building confidence or creating an alter ego, because they really do go hand in hand. And I'm going to share step by step exactly how to do this. So if you've never heard of this, this is something that I've done. I've had opportunities where this happened like in my personal life. It's also happened in my professional life, and how this can help you go from point A to point B so much faster. But first, let's dive into a little bit more about confidence. And when I think about confidence, a lot of people also think of arrogance. Well, the definition of arrogance is being overly proud of one's own self and one's own opinion. And I do say that with a little bit of attitude. Whereas confidence is feeling sure of yourself. It's feeling sure of your abilities and when I think of that, like you're sure of your abilities, like where you are today. Years ago, when I was just starting out speaking, I was a little green. I wasn't as good as I am today, but I still showed some confidence. And I say some confidence because I'm looking back on it and there's such a dramatic difference from my early speaking years to where I am today. And that's just that skill, that's doing the reps, that's being in front of audiences. But at the time, I was doing my best. And doing your best also will help you feel confident. I am delivering the best information that I can for this audience. I have done everything that I need to do to resonate with the audience, to understand their problems. And so I came from a place of confidence. But my speaking skills, my speaking muscle has gotten stronger and stronger. So if I was to take today, Laurie-Ann, and go back and speak at an event that I spoke at like 5 or 17 years ago, I would show up as a different person because I'm showing up as, more experienced Laurie-Ann, confident Laurie-Ann, because I have done more reps. Now, confidence impacts your performance. And because I've done so many reps, I just show up differently. So wherever you are at, you're always doing your best. Like that's the number one thing that I want you to always do. And I'm always learning from each presentation. And I want to encourage you to do the exact same thing. Learn from each presentation, learn from each sales call, look back to move forward. And I know that I've talked about that in other episodes. But what are some of the common fears and insecurities that people have around selling, whether that's selling on a sales call or selling from the stage? Number one, it's fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of what will people think, that imposter syndrome. That imposter syndrome shows up a lot for people. What if they find out that I don't know everything there is about this topic? What if they find out that I've only been in business this short amount of time? There's even this anxiety about asking for the sale. Now, in speaking, you could literally close your eyes at a presentation, and this is with somebody who feels uncomfortable with selling. There is literally an energy difference, a tone difference as they move from the presentation to now into the pitch. The audience is picking it up subconsciously. And when they sense your lack of confidence, that's when sales go down, or not even sales go down. You don't make the sales that you were hoping that you were going to make. Here are some other ways that lack of confidence is going to impact your sales. You hesitate in your delivery. I'm going to call them little hiccups or speed bumps. There's filler words that start showing up. Your body language isn't tall and confident. It's getting a little bit small. You're rounding your shoulders. You're probably hunched over a little bit, maybe looking down at the floor a little bit more. Your body language says you're not confident. Your tone of voice as you move into this pitch, or you need to say this particular line that talks about your product, your voice might squeak, or it's too high. You speak too fast because you're getting nervous, or difficulty in handling objections. Somebody might ask a question, whether that's on a sales call or from the audience or in the back of the room after an event. And you're just like, oh, well, yeah, well, I've had, yeah. You get what I mean? That doesn't come across as you standing in your power and being confident with your answer. It's okay to say, you know what? I've got a case study. I can't think of it off the tip of my tongue, but can I send that to you? And like even that is more confident than I had a client who was very, very similar to your situation, and mm-mm, your prospect is already checked out. So what happens if you do project confidence? Well, you're going to have more credibility with the audience. They're going to like you. More importantly, they're going to trust you. You're going to have better engagement. You're going to connect with the audience. You're going to be able to just say what you need to say. And the likelihood of closing more sales is definitely going to go way up. Now, there's also this mind-body relationship. And I was just talking about this earlier this week when I was speaking in Boston at a prestigious college. I was helping a group of people who were entering into a pitch contest with venture capitalists about their business idea. So I was sharing with them this mind-body relationship. So just try this out. Stand like a depressed person would be standing. And I want you to feel what that feels like. What sort of emotions start to come up for you? You might start to feel sad and dark and this heaviness. You might notice that your shoulders are rounded. You're looking down towards the floor. You're not smiling. You're breathing a little bit more shallow and longer. And it's like, oh, the woe is me. And now I want you to stand confident. Chances are you are standing with your shoulders back, head held high, chin is up, you're smiling, eyes are bright. What are you thinking about now? You're thinking, I can do this. I got this. I know what I'm talking about. I can share this information. I can do whatever it is that you're about to do. So just notice that there's this mind-body connection. So if you start to think insecure thoughts, your body language is going to show that you are insecure. So when you notice something like this, I want you just to let me start with my body language. Let me stand like I would be standing if I was confident, and then watch the mind and the emotions start to follow. So this is something that you can easily do. And I have done this over and over again. I have a shy streak. That's all there is to it. And it loves to rear its ugly head in the most unopportune times. And let's just say I'm going to a networking event. And on my way over there, it's just like, oh, I have a lot to do. Like the excuses start. And this is just my shy streak. Let me get into my confident pose, whatever that is, sitting in a chair for a virtual event, walking into an in-person event, a conference hall, standing nice and tall, and coming across as being approachable and likable. And guess what? Confidence just shows up because I've got the body language, and then the emotions start to show up. Let me share with you about the alter ego. This version of you that embodies all of the desired traits and skills and characteristics that you want to show to the world, that you want to be, that you want to step into. It really represents who you are. Like this is who you are on the inside, and you are just bringing it out even more. You're 10xing it. Todd Herman wrote a book called The Alter Ego Effect. Highly recommend it. And it dives more into this and lots of great stories. But your alter ego can really bridge you from where you are today to where you want to be, your potential future self. Having this alter ego will help you overcome self-doubt, that fear, any limiting beliefs, because this version of you that you are going to create doesn't have those limiting beliefs, doesn't have those fears, doesn't have any self-doubt. They're very confident in who they are and the situation that they are showing up in. Now, just to make a mental note, you can have an alter ego for different areas of your life. And so what do I mean by that? You can have your coaching alter ego, your speaking alter ego, sales call alter ego, mom alter ego, like the sexy ex-wife alter ego. You can have an alter ego for anything and everything. I would even have to say that me going to the gym, there are days that I don't want to go to the gym. But you know what? Strong Laurie-Ann shows up every day at the gym. I get in the car, I'm sipping my coffee. I might not really feel like working out, but guess what? By the time I walk through those doors, my strong Laurie-Ann alter ego kicks in. And the funny thing is I can't tell the difference anymore between current Laurie-Ann, who shows up at the gym, and the version from years ago when I created that alter ego. I have become that person. And that's what having an alter ego is going to do for you. So, how do you create this alter ego? Well, I want you to think about some of the limitations that you feel that you have, some of the fears that seem to show up. Write these down. I want you literally to visualize, close your eyes and visualize the ideal you, that version. You might even want to give him or her a name. Look at different people that are around you, whether they are actual superheroes, they're people that you know, they're people in the online space that you might just see as influencers. Are there characteristics about these people that you're like, I'm going to take a little bit of this from that person and a little bit of that from that person, and you are putting together your version of your best self, your alter ego? Who is the person that I need to become? What are the characteristics of this alter ego that I'm creating that's going to help me step on stage? It's going to help me show up for those sales calls. It's going to help me effortlessly promote myself. One of the alter egos that I have created more recently in the past few years, because writing social media content just comes so hard to me. Well, if I keep saying that, of course it's going to be hard. But guess what? I created an alter ego around writing. And writing is so much easier now. Things to think about. Think about your body language of this alter ego. What's the posture that they have? What's their voice tone? What are some of the words that they use all the time? Mentally prepare. Like, Have these visualization exercises where you just see yourself stepping into this particular alter ego. Maybe you need a prop. That prop could be your watch. It could be earrings that you put on. It could be what you're wearing underneath your clothing. It could be a ring, pair of glasses. You decide. Maybe you just need a prop that helps you step into going from one alter ego to another alter ego. So what do I mean by that? I mean, like, let's just say like you are sales executive alter ego, and who knows whatever name you want to give that person. And then you come home and you want to be like the best mom that you can be. What's a prop that you can go from one mode, one role to the next role that you have in your life? Again, we have multiple roles that we play. A client of mine who had hired me because she was afraid of public speaking, but she knew how good this would be for her business. Being that speaker in the front of the room would help her with leads, with sales, with client calls, sales calls. And one of the things that we discussed that she would do, like created the persona, and then she would watch TED Talks. Now, TED Talks at first would make her stomach get tied up in knots. Her throat would get dry. She literally had a visceral effect when she was watching somebody speak, when she was trying to pretend that she was that speaker. So then she steps into her persona. Her alter ego is projecting, that's me speaking on that TED stage to that audience. And it just became easier and easier and easier. And she got over her fear of public speaking. So here's what I want you to do. Here's your homework. Yes, of course, there's homework with this. I want you to create your own alter ego. Go through the steps that I just shared with you above. Pick all the different ingredients as if you're baking a cake. Pick all the different ingredients for this particular alter ego. Give the alter ego a name. Have fun with this. And then I want you to start stepping into this. Just play around with it. Decide to step into this alter ego. Like when you go to the grocery store, got to go do some errands, got to go do some shopping, picking up the kids. Just play with it. You're just stepping into it to take it for a test drive. Where do we need to alter it? Where do we need to fine tune it? And then I also want you to listen to episode 188, which is about the speaker persona. And also consider reading or listening to Todd Herman's book, The Alter Ego Effect, to really tie together everything that I've just shared with you in this episode. Now, I do have something very special for you, and it is called Magic Phrases. Little phrases that you can say on your next speech, during your next interview, that is going to help you get more leads, more clients, and more speaking opportunities, more bookings on your calendar. So you can get that at speakandstandout.com/magic. And this is perfect for you if you feel that, well, I have been doing some podcast guesting. I have been doing some stages, but I just feel like I just don't get spin-off business from them. And you're going to love these phrases. These phrases are templates that you can insert easily into your next speaking gig or even an interview. So again, go to speakandstandout.com/magic. Now, next week, we are going to be talking more about these magic phrases. And the week after that, we're going to be talking a little bit about the 6 principles of influence based on Robert Cialdini's work. So make sure you stick around, and I hope that you found this episode very helpful. In the words of Robert Cialdini, Dr. Cialdini, reciprocity. If you found this episode to be helpful, I would appreciate if you would go and share it on social media. Consider leaving a review. But sharing it on social media helps me get my information in front of more people, and your audience trusts you. So if you're sharing this episode that you get so much value from, your audience will also. And make sure you tag me in that, and I will be sure to stop by and give you a big thank you. So till next time, be in demand.